Hello everyone, this is Gowthami. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for your support in growing our community. This motivates me to upload more videos. Keep encouraging by sharing, liking and subscribing with your family and friends. Your help means a lot to us. Let's begin the session. Today's concept is to-do list. So using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, we are going to develop this application. Usually, the purpose of using this application used to list out the tasks, what and all you want to perform in that particular day. Once the tasks are done, you can remove the tasks from the list or you can strike off the tasks from the list. So what I'm saying here is, if you observe here, there is a one field where you can enter your tasks, what you want to do in that particular day or particular for particular things. For example, if I want to know HTML, today I want to finish HTML concepts. So my task is to finish HTML concepts. I just entered this data. Once I hit the enter button, means add button, this task is going to be listed out here. So like that, the next day I want to learn CSS. So that these are all my tasks, what to do. Okay, in this week. So add CSS is added. Later, I want to learn JavaScript. That is also added. So if I'm not entering any of the value and if I try to hit the add button, it throws an notification that you need to enter something in that field. Without entering any field, if you hit that add button, you will see this kind of notification. Once you click OK, it will disappear. So now, today I have finished my HTML. So if you have done finish it, what you will do, you will just click on it. That means this task is done and that task will be striked off like this. So now, no ma'am, I have done this. I just want to remove this complete task from my list. Instead of checking like this, I want to remove it from my task. Then you can hit like this, or you change your mind not to add in your task. For suppose I don't want to learn CSS this week, so I just want to remove this task from the list. Then what you can do, you simply click this cross symbol, then the task will be removed from the list. So these are the actions that you want to provide with the help of the JavaScript. And one more thing, usually what are the tasks that I have provided in the format of list that should be present until you provide some action on it. See, if I'm just refreshing, is this data disappearing, whatever the task that you have listed out? No, because the data, whatever the data you have given there, that should be stored somewhere in your system. That means in the memory location, and it should get it back. It should get it back whenever you are opening that list, to-do list application. So what you should do, you should store in your system in the memory location, then it should get it back to your application. So this and all should be done. If you are not saving that listed tasks, then whenever you are getting refreshed, this will disappear. Okay, so to manage that, you have to write some code for that also. So today's task is to design this to-do list app using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's begin the class. Now, we already created one folder for practicing the documentations. Now, what I will do here is, under this new folder, I'm going to create one more folder to store this to-do list application. So what I'll do, just create a folder, new folder, to-do list. This is my folder. Inside this folder, I'm creating a file for storing the HTML document. So to-do list.html. So now what I'm going to do here is, first you need to create a structure for your to-do list app. So what are the things that you need to provide here? So if I treat this is as a complete body, inside this body, there is a one more section. So in this section, I'm having the first thing is one heading. Beside that, there is one image. Means this is a complete one section. And later on, there is one more section having input field and one more thing button field. So this is one section. Later on, this is complete one section where you are going to list out the tasks. That means this is generated with the help of li tags, which are coming from the HTML. So that we are going to tell now. See, now what I'm going to do here is just to provide the structure here. So how to provide the structure? exclamatory mark, okay, tab symbol, you will get this structure. Just to try to change the name of the title, to-do list app. So this is my title. I'm going to open on the browser. So right click, open with the live server. So it's going to open in the browser. So now what I will do here is I will keep it side by side and I'll start providing the structure for our application. So the first thing that what I need to do here is I just want to provide a complete body as one container. So use a div tag and provide a class name inside this is container. The complete body I'm making like a container. Inside this container, this complete is container. Inside this container, I'll treat this complete box as one category. That category name I'm going to give like a to-do app. So create one more div inside this container and give the class name as to-do app. Your name, your wish, whatever the names you want to give, you can give according to you. To-do app. So this container, I have given the name as to-do app. Inside this to-do app container, I'm having one section, one is for heading and one is for image. Now, here actually 3 images I used for this application. One is this icon and second is empty checkbox, means unchecked image, and second thing is checked image. I want to add up these 3 images in my folder, that is a to-do list app folder. So what I will do here is I already have those images in one place. To-do list, drag it and put it here. So images are added in my folder. Okay. So the next thing that what I should do here is let's make use of those images for our application. So see what are the images that I have? Checked image, later the icon, and one more thing is unchecked. These three images I added in this images section. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here is let's try to do all these things. I'll just close the previous class details or not. Just calculate, I'm just closing. So I'll just make it road wrap, view, road wrap, everything in single page. So the next thing what I should do here is I have created a to-do app in this div. I'm just having one heading and the image. So you can use heading tags from H1 to H6. I would like to make use of a H2 tag for providing this text. So use H2 tag, and inside that H2 tag, I want to provide the text like a to do, okay, to do list. And inside this heading only, you should provide the image. Why? Because if you are writing the image below this, the image will become bottom to that heading tag. So I want to be placed side by side. So inside this heading tag, you create a image tag. And in this image tag src, the image is coming from the images folder. The image name here is icon.png. For this icon, I have given the name as icon.png. Okay, so now this is done. Now just come back to your application. Now this is here. So H2 tag side by side. Later we will do stylings and all. Okay, first we are creating the structure. Then what is the next thing that I need to do here is, this is a one more section. So now this part is done. Later, I want to create this part. So I'm going to create one div section here. Inside this div, I'm having 2 fields. One is for entering the data and second is for clicking purpose. So this is developed with the help of an input tag. So, and also you just give one name for this div section for doing the stylings. I have given as a row. Now inside this div, I'm creating an input tag. So just here, what is the text you have here? Add your text. So the type is text only. To recognize what to enter there, I'm just using a placeholder is equal to add your text. So this is the text that I have given for my input tag. Later on, what you should do here. So in order to gather, means in order to collect the data, when you are using in the JavaScript, there should be some identity for this field. So that's why I'm providing one identity for this field. ID is equal to input box. This one we already learned in the previous example. Okay. So this part is done. Now you need to add this button. So I already said that button can be developed either by input tag or button tags. So here I'm using a button tag. So inside this button, the text on it is add is there. So I'll just using a add here. And this, whenever I'm clicking this, it is doing some kind of actions. So when on clicking means you have to write the event. So you just write the event now, or when you are writing the JavaScript also, you can add it here. So we know how to create the events when you are writing the buttons, right? So now only I'm writing here. So whenever you are clicking that button, you should call some function, what logic you have written on it. Okay, so I'm just giving the name of that function here is add task. Later, I'll create a function with this name. Okay, so this is done. This part is also done. And this part we need to write with the help of a JavaScript. But here I want to do some stylings. Okay, that's why what I'm doing here is I'm going to create a one dummy list to perform some kind of stylings on that list part. So how to create the list? So usually there are three types of lists in the HTML. One is ordered list, and second is unordered list, and third one is a defined list. So when we will use ordered list means when you are listing out the items in the order, then you can make use of ordered list, that is denoted with the help of OL tag. Okay, so this OL tag, this is a parent tag where it contains a child tags, that is called LI tags. Inside this LI only, you are going to provide the items, what you want to display on it. See here. So by default, it is generating with 1 because I already said that OL tags are used to provide a ordered list. Okay, so by default, it will take a type. That means it will starts with a digit 1 only. If you want to provide different types of bullets like a numbering, then you can use a type is equal. If you are using small a, it is going to numbered with small a. If you are providing capital A, it is going to be provided with capital A like this. So this is what a ordered list. You can provide any kind of list here. Whatever the list you are using, you are just providing some kind of images like unchecked. When you will be seen unchecked means if you are not perform any action on it, it will be like unchecked. When you are clicking on that particular task, that time it should be checked and it should get striked off. That means you are providing some kind of actions and some images also. So either you use ordered list or unordered list. You can provide any number of tasks. It is going to be numbered orderly, A, B, C, D like that, because you have given type is A. If I am given small I, it is going to be numbered with a small case no Roman numbers like this. So if or suppose if I have given UL is nothing but unordered list. So here unordered list here, I'll just removing this type now. Unordered list means when your list is not having any order like apple, mango, that kind of things. By default, it is going to give the bullets only. If you want to provide some other kind of bullets, make use of an attribute called type is equal to square. If you have provided the square, the bullets will appear in the format of square. If you want in the circle shape, you can provide a circle so that the bullets will be looks like a circle. So you can generate three types of bullets when you are using the unordered list. When it comes to styling part for this list, you can provide multiple types of stylings for numbering. Okay. So now here we are not providing any kind of type. Simply I am listing out UL tag, and inside this UL, what I am doing here is this is only for dummy purpose because I just provide one identity for this. ID is equal to, I'm just giving for this as ID list container. Why I am providing this UL here means whatever the data I am entering here, that data and all should be listed out inside this UL tag. So that is the reason I am just creating this UL tags here. This list will be generated with the help of JavaScript. Okay, but now I have given now, I will do stylings, then I will remove it. Okay, first what we will do here is, this is what I have written in the list now. So the next thing what I need to do, I want to apply some stylings for this, right? So what is that means? For the list, I'm providing one identification, class is equal to checker. So with the help of this class name, you are going to perform some kind of actions in the JavaScript, and also you will apply some styles that are written in the CSS file. Okay. So now this is the structure for our for our to-do app. Okay. Till here understood. What is the next thing that we should do? We should apply styling for our application. Structure part is done. So now what I'll do, I'll just going to create a CSS file and I'm going to link it in the HTML document. How to create a file? Just right click on that folder, new file. So what I will do here is to do style.css. So inside this, I'm going to write the stylings part. I already mentioned that every application having a same kind of a stylings called margin 0, padding 0, box sizing is equal to border box. Same thing I said, right? So here also I'm going to include the same thing. So whenever you are applying that thing, I'm using a selector called universal selector. So margin 0 pixels, later padding 0 pixels, later box sizing, I'm going to give it as a border box. Okay, so now we'll see, will you see any effects there? Means no. Why? Because I didn't link this file in the HTML document. So where you should link it? Inside the head section using a tag called link tag. So it is a relation is a style sheet. You should provide that file name, that is to do style dot CSS. So just provide it. Now you can see the changes. Everything is nearer to the margin. Now, what is the next thing that I need to do? Let's do stylings for this container class. The first thing that I need to do here is providing color for my complete body, that is with the help of a container. Okay, so just to use this class name, and in the come to the CSS file, class is represented using the dot symbol. The first thing what I will do here is I'm going to fix the width and height for my application. So we already know that width will be like how much size of your device, that much only. So width 100%. Then I'm going to provide height. Actually, I don't want to occupy the complete page of that application. I just want to provide little height. So I'm just going to use here is minimum height, and it should going to vary based on the values, based on the content increasing, the size of that content will also get increases. So that's why I'm just giving it like a viewport height. And I'm applying the background color. Okay, what is the background color? You should provide different colors, different variations, blue and violet, some kind of variation I can see here. When you want to provide a different variations, use a function called linear gradient, and you should provide the how much degrees you should do. It means in slanting way, in how much it should bend it, the color changes. You should provide the degree. Later, you should provide the color. I want the similar color to match it. So that's why I'm using the color code. And one more thing is a 4E085F. So now once you have given these colors, you come and check your site. See, this is what the color I got it. And one more thing that what I need to do here is I want to apply padding for this. Means I just want to generate. Okay. I want to generate what thing? I want to generate spaces around it. So I'll just overwrap this also. View overwrap. Now just come here and just provide padding. You give how much padding you want, that much you can give. So see, little bit space you got it. The next thing what you need to do, you have done styling for this container. The later part, I'm going to do stylings for this to-do app. So provide a dot and to-do app. What is the first thing I need to do here is, I just want to provide the width. how much width it should occupy and what is the maximum width it should occupy. So the complete width is 100%. Now it should occupy a minimum width. Okay, that means you should maximum width how much it should occupy. It should not occupy the complete page. You provide the maximum width how much that should be provided. Later on, you provide the background color and you should provide some spaces around the borders, okay, around the outside of the box, and you apply the padding so that the text inside that box you will generate some space. Later border radius you apply it. Okay, so first thing what I'm going to do here is just come to your our application, provide the width. Our width is actually 100%. I'm going to fix my maximum width, okay, to somewhat pixels, okay, 540 pixels. Okay, the next thing what I need to do here is, let's apply the background color. Let's provide a white color. Okay, if your code is a triple F actually for white color, so the white color is added. Here I have given maximum width is 540 pixels. That is the reason it is occupying only this much. Okay, later on what I need to do, I just want to provide spacing around the box. So that's why I will use a margin property. I will give 100 pixels at top and I want to add this one at the two sides, the same thing. Means based on this width, it is going to be placed at the center. So that's why I'm providing auto. Auto will going to be generating space left and right side, same thing based on the given width. Later, bottom, I'm going to give 20 pixels. Okay, so this is what I want to provide for my margin. Then coming to inside one, outside is done. Now I want to provide us spaces inside the box. For that, we should use a property called a padding property, 40 pixels top, 30 pixels right and left, and 70 pixels bottom. Why I am using 70 pixels bottom here is, whenever I am adding the list, so that time it should have some space. That's why I have given more on the bottom side. So this will be for top, this will be for right side, and this will be for the bottom. And if I didn't give left side, it is going to take the right side value only. So this is how it looks. Now I want to round up these corners. So use a property called border radius. How much you want to round up, that much value you can give it, 10 pixels. Now the corners are rounded. Yeah, this is done. Next, coming to one more thing. Now this outside to-do app is done. Now you should apply stylings for this H2 tag. So H2 tag and image tag. First, I'm going to apply stylings for this H2 tag. So this H2 tag is where it is inside the to-do app. So let's do stylings with the help of that one. So inside this to-do app, I'm having one tag called H2 tag. For that, I'm doing the stylings. So you should mention it. If you mention like this, where if there is anywhere, if there is a H2, that time whatever you have written inside it, that styling will not be applicable. Why? Because you specifically mentioned that for this H2 only, means this H2 is available in this class. Only for that class only the styles will be applicable. If you didn't provide this to-do app, then wherever the H2 is present, for all the H2 tags will be, styles will be applied. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here, now I want to apply color for my H2 tag, a little bit like a dark blue color. Then here, if you see, this text is bottom and this is at somewhere else, means it is above it. So I want to make it center and it should be aligned. I mean aligned center, justify content, that and all flex property we have to use here. So first we will apply color property. It should be like a blue color. So I'm going to provide a one color code 002765. So it will be like a dark blue color. Now to make it align properly, I'm going to make use of a property called display flex property. I already mentioned that whenever you are using the flex property, you have to make use of a rest of the two properties also, like justify content and align items. So now see here, it is here and this one is here. Now I want to make it center. So align items center. So now see here, it is going to be placed at the center. It is going to be placed at the center. That's it. We don't need a justify content here. So it is enough. Later, what I'm going to do, the next thing, what I'm going to do here is, Here, later I want to apply a stylings for this image. I want to apply stylings for this image. Means I want to resize that image. So that image is also present in the to-do app class only, img tag. So you can provide width and height. Okay. So now what I'm going to give width, I'm just going to give. So width, I'm just going to give some pixels like a 30 pixels so that this is going to be small. It's going to be managed. And this heading and below these things are very close to each other. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to provide some gap. Means you have to apply the margin. So this complete thing is present in the H2 tag. So in this thing, I'm going to provide one more thing that is called margin bottom. I'm going to provide 20 pixels so that you can see the space is generated. Space is generated. Okay, this is well and good. And also this text and this image is close to each other. I want to generate some space. Either you can provide in the H2 tag margin right, you can provide, or in the image tag margin left also you can use it. Whatever you want, you can give it. So I'm going to give in the image tag margin left side. I'm going to provide 10 pixels. So it will move little away from it. So little away. Okay. So this part is done. Later, what part I want to do the styling? I want to do styling for this input tag and this button tag. Okay. So this complete div I have given name here is something that is a row. So with the help of this class, I'm going to perform styling. So for this row, first thing what I need to do, I want to occupy this complete thing. Okay, in this complete, how much width you have for this container? That means this complete div, that much it should occupy. And also this should be this corner and this should be this corner. So what I will use? Display, flex property. Okay, later I'm going to use a property called justify content. Now one input field should be this side and this add button should be this side. So you should provide a space between, equally spaced. Now you can see this is this side and this is this here. And actually this is not properly aligned. This is somewhere side is something like that. It should be aligned in the center. So use a property called align items center. So now it's going to be aligned at the center part. The next thing what I need to do here is you just provide a styling for this complete thing. And one more thing, this complete input should occupy the rest of the space. So that means this input field should occupy it. So what I'm going to use, I'm using the tag input selector. So use a flex means it should zoom in. So flex equal to 1. So now see, it is occupied the complete one. Okay, you just made it, you just enlarged it just by using the property flex 1. Now what you should do? Now I want to make some styling for this complete row. Like I just want something like a padding left, margin bottom. See this in below this you have something like close to each other to the list. So that's why what I will do here is margin bottom. I'm going to provide 25 pixels. So now the space is generated. Later padding left side. So this means I just want to generate a space it here. So here I want to generate some space. So what I'm going to write? Padding left for this text. For this text I am providing it. Not for this text, this complete row. Padding left I am providing 20 pixels. Now see, it will be little moving away. Little moved away, 20 pixels. If you want to apply some kind of a background colors and if you want to round it up, you can do it. So later I will do. Once I have done these stylings for this input, later I will do that and all. Now come back to this input field and later you have to do stylings for the button tag. First we will see the stylings for this input tag. So flex I have given one and I want to remove the border. So I will apply border none. Then whenever I'm focusing the outline you are getting, I don't want to see that outline. So outline also I'm making it like none. Then here, what is here? Whenever I'm having, you cannot see anything. Okay, it's okay. Now what I need to do here is I want to provide some kind of a background here. So like what color? See here, some kind of gray color I want to provide. For complete thing, I want to provide some background complete thing. So let's provide a background for the complete row. So background color, you just provide some gray color, right? So I'm just going to give this color code. Okay, EDEEFO. So here, this is a complete background. And this is input field background. I don't want this white color. So I want to remove that background color. So background transparent. So that what is the background color you have given for that row? Now that is the color. And it is very much thin. The background means the pad is very much thin. So now what I will do here is I am going to apply padding for that input field. So padding, I am providing 10 pixels now. So it is going to be little much big. And I want to round up this background. So this complete is coming from the row. So you just write it here. Okay, border radius. Let's provide a 30 pixels. It will be looks like rounded up. Okay. And the next thing what you should do here, I want to increase the size of this font if you want. Otherwise, you can keep it like that only. If you want to increase the, whenever I'm entering the texture, it is very much small, right? So that's why I want to I want to give the size of the font, that is font size. Let us give font size. We can give it like 20 pixels. Let's see. So if I'm, see now, whenever I'm entering, it looking good. And if you want to be like a bolder format, then you can use a font weight also. That is up to you only. So input styling is also done. If you want to make this a placeholder to make it transparent, then you can use that opacity property and you can make opacity like that, like this. So in this input field, you want to reduce the brightness of that one. So use a placeholder. So what you should use? There is a property called opacity. This will range from 0.0 to 1.0. If I'm giving a 0.5, the text will become little light. If I'm giving something like 4, so it is going to be little light. Okay, you can, opacity is going to reduce the brightness of the character or any kind of an object. Okay, so the next thing what I'm going to do here is, let's provide styles for this add button. So use a button tag. And first thing what I need to do here is, I don't want to see this border. And when I'm clicking, when I'm focusing, I don't want to see this outline also. So both I'm going to copy here, same thing, and I'm going to paste it here. So border is not seen. Later, if you observe here, I have given some background color as orange color and the text color is a white color and the font size I'm matching to the data, what I'm entering to the text only. I want to match this button. And when I'm moving my cursor on it, I'm getting this. When I'm moving onto that button, I can see the cursor as my pointer. And this, whenever I'm applying this one, it should be like rounded. So I want to apply that and all stylings for this button. So the first thing what I'm going to do here is, first I'm going to apply a background color and I'm just giving the code as FF59 FF5945. This is my color code. So now you are getting like this. Is it very much close to each other? That's why I'm going to apply padding. You just give some value like, so 16 pixel I'm giving to top and bottom and 50 pixels I'm giving left and right. So now it's looking good. Now what I need to do, I want to round it up. So use a property called border radius. Use pixels, that is 40 pixels. Now this is rounded up. Now what I need to do, I want to change the color of my text. So color, I'm going to provide white and also font size matching to the text what I have entered, that is 20 pixels. What is the value that I have given there? 20 pixels, just to give that value. So 20 pixels. Got it? So now it's looking good. And also whenever I am moving my cursor on it, I should want to give it like a hand symbol. So use a property called cursor pointer. Cursor pointer. So now see, whenever I am moving my cursor, you can able to see the hand symbol. So this part is also done successfully. Later part is going to be done for this list section. So later we are going to omit all these li tag data. Only we are keeping this UL because whatever the data you are entering here, that data should be stored inside this UL only just by creating this LI tags. So this and all done with the help of JavaScript only. Okay, so let's do stylings for this UL. Okay, UL, and inside this there is a called LI tags. And this ID I have given for using in the JavaScript. Okay, so now come to the CSS. So let's do styling for UL. Inside that you are having LI. So the first thing what I want to do here is, here usually by default it is going to generate the bullets. I don't want to see that bullets. So to avoid that one, we will make use of the property called list style. You should provide none so that the bullets will get disappear. The bullets will get disappear. And I want to increase the size of the text. You have used here 20 pixels. If you want the same size, then you can make use of it. No, if you want a little small, then you can use whatever the size you want for your font. So font size I have given 18 pixels. And it is this corner. I don't want to be placed this corner. I want to be placed here. So I'm going to apply a property called padding property, 12 pixels top, 8 pixels right side, 12 pixels bottom, and 50 pixels left side. So that I'm just providing more space on the left side so that only I can able to place it just here. And usually when the user is not selecting anything, it should not perform anything. So that's why I will use one property called user select nothing. So none. So you should use user select none. Whenever you are not doing nothing, it should not do anything. And whenever I am moving on to it, it should mean I'm going to perform some kind of actions with the help of JavaScript. Once the task is done, I want to strike it off and I check that button. And if I want to remove it, I just want to use a cross button. Means you are performing some actions on the task. So then I want to make my cursor as a pointer. So use cursor pointer. Now, what is the next thing that you need to do? You want to provide images here. You have to provide images here. So how to provide? So you should use again UL, LI before. If you are not providing anything, that time it should make use of one of the image. Initially, there will be no content. So the content is empty. You should provide the content is empty. That time what you should do here, you should provide it all the things. So it should be placed where it is present. If I am providing an image, right, that image should be given just beside this only. If you are not providing the position relative in the parent tag, then that images will be to the body section. Okay, somewhere here it will be done. So that's why I'm going to use a property called position absolute. When you're using the position absolute, there will be a one more property called position relative, which is coming from the parent tag. So you should write it here, position relative. Okay, later what I want to do here, you just apply height and width for that, and you apply the border radius, everything you just apply, whatever the properties we are learning, I'm just keeping all those things to make our website good, right? Like means my application good, not website, application good. So I want to keep that checkbox in a square format. That's why I'm just providing width and height as 28 pixels and 28 pixels. And I want to apply my border radius as 50%, then only it should be like a circle shape. And what is that image that you want to provide? So whenever you want to provide an image, you should make use of a property called background image. From where you are getting that image? The image is inside the images folder that should be provided with the help of this URL function. So you provide images. It is unchecked. Whenever you didn't do anything, it should be like unchecked. So here you are getting, you see, you can able to see this image. But here this image is not seen properly. So what you need to do here is you need to set the size of this background. So based on its cover size, means what is the height and width I have given? Based on this height and width, this image should be managed. So what I'm going to use? Background size cover. So the image is going to be seen like this, unchecked image. Now, is this the proper place? No, it should be here, beside this. So you should provide, you should make that images to move to the left side. Okay, so I'm just giving left 12 pixels. 12 pixels, or you can give 8 pixels. I'll give 8 pixels, we'll see. 8 pixels. Little okay. And also you can see this text is here and the images are little down. So what I'm going to do, I'll just make top, means it should move little upwards. So I'm just going to provide 10 pixels. We'll see. So now it's okay. If you give one more 12 value, we'll see. So now, is there any changes? You just provide 10 only, then only it will be good. Yeah, now it is equally designed. Yes or no? Aligned properly. So top is equal to 10 I have given. Okay, this is done. Okay. And one more thing here, I had used this class, right? Whenever you are clicking, means if you are doing some kind of action, the image should be changed. What is that image? What is the thing? When you are checking that one, it should be like striked off. It should get striked off and the image should be checked. Means tick mark should be provided. So now we are going to perform stylings for this checked. UL, LI, UL, li dot checked class. So inside this li only you are having this class. That's why we should provide it like this. Now what you have to do, you want to make it as some different color. See here, whenever I'm striking it off, it is not the black color. It is looking like some gray color. So that color code you can give it. So whenever I'm doing some actions on it, it should become some kind of gray color. Now you can see this color becomes little gray because for this li tag only I have given a class name as checked. Not only this, for this class, for this list, I have given checked. But whenever you are doing in the JavaScript, whenever you are doing some action, which is nothing but that particular list is following this styles, what you have provided here. Okay. And what you will do when you are clicking on it, it should get striped off. It should get striped off. So what I'm going to do here is text to decoration. Text to decoration should be passed, means this line should be on it. So you have to use a property called a line through. It is going to be striped off. This is okay. And before that, what it should be like? It should be like, what it should be? It should change the image. Okay, to the what image? Checked image. Okay, so just to change the background. So background image, I'm going to provide it like here, checked.png. Now you can see you got that image. Okay, so this is all about the styling part. There is a few more stylings also. We should provide a cross symbol also. That cross symbol, that and all we are going to generate with the help of JavaScript only. Okay, so this is about styling, but this styling we will not be given from the HTML. This listing should not be given. So that's why what I will do, I'll just comment this listing part here. Nothing will be seen. So whenever you are providing this class name using the JavaScript, that time this actions will be applicable to that particular list. Means that is task. Okay, and this is very much important. Whatever the values you are giving and you are hitting this add button, that values and all should be added inside this UL. So you should create li tag and you should add the text inside this li tag. That and all you want to done with the help of JavaScript. Now what is the next task that we are going to do? Creating the script file. So how to create a script file? Very simple. Go to the to-do list folder, right click, new file. What I'm writing? To-do script.js. Must and should give an extension .js. Once it is done, what you have to do here? This file should be linked in your HTML documentation. Must and should be important. So where you are going to be important? Just above the closing tag of the body using the tags called script. And here you should provide an attribute called src. And what is the name that you have given? To do script.js. Now done. You set it up. Now what I'm going to do? Whatever the data you are entering, I just keep it side by side now. Then it will be very much easy to understand. So whatever the data I'm entering here, that data should be stored in one variable. So what is the identity that we have given for this field? we have given that field as input box. So how can you get it? We already seen in the calculator, same thing we will do. So const input box is equal to document dot get element by ID. What is the ID name? Input box. What is the ID name that I have given here, ma? Input box. Just give that input box. Whatever the value you are entering, that value is going to be gathered and stored in that variable. What is the variable name you have given? In that variable, it is going to be gathered. Okay. So now next thing, what you need to do? The next thing, whatever the values you are entering and hitting the add button, that values and all should be added inside this list container. Means that also you have to create one variable. So const list container is equal to document dot get element by ID. What is the identity for that list container? That is list container only. Now, what is the next thing that I need to do? I want to create a function for this button. Whenever I am clicking, this should call some actions. So what is the name that I have given for this while creating the HTML document? Add task. So now with this name, I'm going to create one function here. So how to create a function? Using a keyword function and give the function name. So what is the next thing that we need to do here? So when the input box field is empty, if you are clicking add, that time it should show some notification. So you should write like a condition. If input box value, right? What is the, if the value is not present? So this input box value is not there. So equal to empty. If it is empty, you should give a notification. That notification is done with the help of a alert functions. So what I'm going to here, you should enter something or you enter something. Okay, you should enter something before clicking the add button, something like that. I'm going to give the text. If you have given something, then that should be added in the container. So how it should be added? In the format of list. So what you need to do? First, you need to create the li tags using the JavaScript. How to create a li tags? So create a variable, let li is equal to, for creating the li tags or any kind of tags, there is a one function from this document here is create, what is that function? Create element. So with the help of this create element function, we can able to create any kind of tags, HTML tags. Now, what is the meaning of this? Means it is going to be created in this way. So this is going to be document.create element of li. So when you are using this function, right, it is going to be generated this tag and it is going to be stored in this variable. Now what I need to do, whatever the value I'm getting from this, okay, input box dot value, okay, that value I want to add it in this li tag. Okay, inside this I want to add it. So what I'm saying, so in this li dot, you are writing that value, right? So inner HTML is equal to, you should use input box value. Whatever the value you are entering, that box identity is input box. So that value you want to add it inside this li tags. Now how it looks like now? So it is going to be in this way. For example, if I have given HTML, so this, because of this line, this li will become, now this will get updated. So this is going to be, for example, if I have entered HTML here, so this is going to be framed in this way. So now li will be this one. It just will get updated. Now what I need to do, this data, this list, I want to add it inside this container. Means inside this ul tag, I'm generated this li tag now. So you have to add it. For adding, we will make use of a function called append child. Appending means adding. So what I'm doing, inside this list container, you are adding it. So append child function, the data that you have stored where? So this is now added, means updated to this variable. That's why I have given li. Understanding what I said here? Understanding? Okay. Now this is done. So see, refresh it. If I'm not giving anything, if I'm hitting the add button, it is giving some notification that you should enter something. So if you click OK, it will disappear. If I'm trying to add something like HTML, if you click add button, this data is going to be listed out below it. See here with this image. Because you have done stylings for that, right? You have done stylings for UL. So user select none. So that time before you should be like this and all. This and all should be provided like this. Actions and all will be added here. Okay. Next thing what I need to do. The next thing here, when I'm clicking on this, it should get striked off and it should be tick mark. And one more thing, if I want to delete from the list, there should be one cross symbol, and that cross symbol should get some actions. Correct? So that cross symbol also I'm going to create it now. So what I'm going to create? So create one variable just like that. So this cross symbol I'm going to generate with the help of a tag only. That is a span tag only. That is called inline group. Inline group. So let's create one variable. Let span is equal to document dot create element. I'm creating one element, that is span element. Okay, so it is going to be created this kind of tag. This kind of tag is going to be created now. Now what I need to do, inside this span tag, I want to provide a cross symbol. So same thing, inside a span dot inner HTML is equal to, you should give that cross symbol code. So write it like this, span dot inner HTML. You have to give the code for that cross symbol. I want to provide code for that cross symbol. The code for that cross symbol is for backward slash U00D7. So this is the symbol. This is the code for the cross symbol. Now see here, if I am entering HTML, just click on it. So now can you see here? You are not able to see. Why? Because you have created, but you didn't add it in the this beside this li tag. So you should add it. Where you should add it? This cross symbol should be beside this li tag. So that is the children for it. So li dot append child. So what is that tag name? Span variable. Whatever the data, now this is going to be updated in this span variable. So what is the code now? This is going to be here like this. The cross symbol will be like this. So this is going to be updated to this variable that I am adding like a child for this li. Now see here, let us take a CSS, add it. Can you see the cross symbol here? Now you want to apply stylings for this cross symbol. So for doing the styles, come back to the to-do style. Okay, to-do style.css. Now do the stylings for that. Okay, so that is present in the UL, li span only. Okay, you are doing styles based on the JavaScript now. So what I'm going to, the position should be the same where it is. So that's why we should use a position absolute. Then what you should use? It should be here. That means this is the right side, means it should be on right side. So you should keep it like a right 0, means it should not be left side. It should be on right side. So you should give the 0. That means it is going to be here. Then actually this is not in the line. It should be little down. I want to move up. So it should be little move up. So top, I'm going to give something like 5 pixels. And I want to provide, if you see here, if I'm moving my cursor on it, it is just providing the background for me. Okay. So like that, I want to generate some kind of actions. And this is also very much small. I want to increase the size of it. First, what I will do, I'll just apply some background first because I want to show something. So let's give this background color for it. So how it is looking? It is very much close to each other. That's why what I will do, I want to make this a background as a square shape. So that's why I'm going to provide a properties called width property 40 pixels, height property as of 40 pixels. Now see, this square will be looking like this. And also the size of that cross is very much small. So that's why I'm just providing the size. So font size, I'm giving the font size as 22 pixels, one thing. And also I'm going to change the color of it. let us take the color like for this as little gray color. Later I will change it. So otherwise I'll just change this here. So let us take the blue color. So this is my background. Here it is left side. What I want to do, I want to make it center. So text align, center, text align, center. So it is aligned at the center. And the line height is very much big. That is why what I will do, I will reduce the line height. So line height, I'm going to give it like 40 pixels. It will be placed at the center of the page. It is going to be placed center of it. But this is not the right way. And also I want to apply the background border radius. So the border radius here is, I want to make it like a circle. So 50% is okay. But this should be done when I'm moving cursor on it. So that's why what I will do, okay, just to copy this. When I'm focusing means when I'm moving it means hover property. So now you remove these properties. What are those properties? Background property, you remove it. And you paste it here. Okay, so now whenever I'm moving, you can see that kind of action here. Getting my point, everyone? So this is what this one is done. Later, what I need to do, whenever I'm clicking, this should be removed. That action you should write it. And also, whenever I'm clicking on it, this should get striked off and the image is checked in. So that should be provided with the help of JavaScript now. So you should create some kind of functions for it. So first what I will do, let's create whenever I'm clicking on li tag, so that time it should get, and also one more thing you should remember. Once I click this add button, this input box field should get empty, but it is not getting empty. So what you should provide? You should provide in the JavaScript. So once you have entered any value, that field should become empty. So I'll write it like this. When it is done, you should come out of it. Input box, where it is. So input box value should become empty. It should become empty. So now see, once I have written coffee, if I hit this add button, so now see it is getting empty. So this should be done. Once the value is added in the list, this box should get empty. Now the later thing what I need to do here, what is the next thing that I need to do? I want to provide actions on this li tag and this cross symbol. First, I'll just write this condition like this. So what is that condition I'm going to provide here? What is the condition? First, you have to provide an event. So whenever you are this cross symbol and this li tags are all coming from the list container. So whenever you are performing actions on it, so add event listener, whenever you are clicking on any part of that tags like a HTML, like a span tag or a li tag. So that time this function should get activated. So function, this event should be handled. So what is that one you should do? So what I'm going to do it here is you should provide if your target dot tag name, based on your tag name is equal to li tag. Whenever you are targeting the li tag, that time it should be checked. So you are giving the class name here. What is the class name you should give here is checked, because here you have done styling based on the class name checked only. So it is going to be line through and this image is going to be added up there. Okay, so you just write that code. So whenever you are targeting that li tag with the class name, that is class list. This is the whenever you are telling that style of that class, you should mention in the JavaScript like this only. Class list dot, you should provide a toggle function. You should give that class name as checked. What is the class name? Where's the styling you have provided? Checked. This should be provided. Okay. So now see here, when I'm writing something like a T. So just enter some value here, T. If I'm getting the add, the item is added. So now whenever I'm targeting this one, this class styles will get applicable now. So click on it. So now see that class stylings is getting applicable. So this is one thing. And when I click this one, this should be removed. This should be removed means you are removing that item from the list container, from the parent. So one more condition that you should provide it. So what I will write it, else if when you are targeting e dot target dot tag name, your tag name is now span. Your tag name is what, ma? Span. That time the item should be removed from that container. So you should write it like this. E dot target dot parent. Parent element. From the parent element means that is what a list container. Parent element dot remove function. There is a function called remove function. Okay, you just remove that one. So once it is removed, now you can see this action is done. So now just to see here, if I am writing tiffin, okay, just add it. This item is added. So once I click it, it is getting striped off. Once if I click this, the element is disappearing, means that is removing from the container. This and all well and good. But whenever I am doing changes here, the data is disappearing. That means the data is not storing in your system and it is not getting back again. That is not the correct way. So for storing the data permanently in your system, whenever you are opening that one, it should get it back from that system, from that storage, memory location. So for that, you should write some functions also. First, what you should do, you should create a function for saving the data in your memory location. So for that, I am using function save data with the name. I'm just creating one function with the name save data. So where it should get saved in your system, that is a local storage. So local storage set item is used to store the data. Set item. So you should provide one variable where to store data in the variable data. What data that you want to store, whatever the data that you are writing inside the list container, that data and all you should store it in this data variable. Okay, you should save it. Once it is saved, what you need to do? It should get affected, means it should get it back again whenever you do changes also. So for that also you should create a function. Function get data or show data, something. Get data. This is one function. Whenever you do something on that, it should get it back whatever the data stored in that memory location. So what I will do, where to store that again? In the same place. That means inside the linear list container only. So list container dot inner HTML is equal to, from where you are getting the data? From the local storage, you are getting the item. So get item, and where it is going to be stored now? Inside the data. So now once it is done, so now what you should do? You should call this function only to get this data. So get data. And whatever the task you are doing, means whenever you are clicking this what is that, cross symbol, whenever you are clicking li symbol, whenever you are adding some item, that time what that all kind of actions only, that time and all the data should get stored in your system, and whenever you are getting back, it should get back the data what it has stored in your local system. So what you should do, wherever you are doing the actions, there and all, you should call this function name. So where first you have to call it. So when you are entering the data, there also you should save it. Okay. So now here I'm going to call, means whenever you are adding the data, that data should be stored in your local storage. And whenever you are clicking this li tag, then you are doing again their action. So that time also it should not get eliminated everything. It should be present there itself. So that time also you should save it. So what I am going to do here is, here also I am going to save the data. Whenever you are clicking on the cross symbol, that time also you should not affect it to your data. That time also you should save your data. So everywhere you should save your data. Getting my point, everyone? So till here understood, everyone? Yes? Yes. Now see here. Now I already saved all the data now. Everything is done. So just to refresh. So let's try to add the items. So let us take HTML, 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 add it. And again, I am writing CSS, add it. And JavaScript, add it. And React.js, add it. So how many want, you can add it. Once I have done this, just click it. So it's clicked on. So if I'm getting refresh also, the data is not getting disappeared because whatever you do the actions, it is storing in that storing there in the local storage and getting it back. If I'm clicking the cross symbol, it is omitting from that list. If I'm omitting like this. So how many you want, you can list out here. So this is how you can create a to-do list application. Hope you thoroughly understand all the concepts what we covered in this session. If you are having any doubts, comment below. Who are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more notifications. We'll meet you in the next video with another concept. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.